Hello and welcome. My name's David Dungay. In this episode, I am talking to Callum Shabella, EVP of Product Management at Five9, about the forthcoming product roadmap at the business. Callum, how are you doing? Thanks for joining me.
I'm doing very well. Nice to meet you, David.
Fantastic. Well, let's get straight into the conversation then, Callum. Can you give me some insights into your product roadmap and what kinds of features and benefits you're bringing to your customers and partners over the next 12 months?
Absolutely. So Five9 is a complete CX platform. So we handle pretty much any kind of customer contact, inbound and outbound, that you can think of across pretty much any channel, digital and voice. And I guess the big news for the industry in 2023 is how are platforms like Five9 going to be bringing to market products and services based around large language model technology, and you can expect a lot from Five9 on that front. So I think probably the easiest one to understand in terms of a very short-term roadmap, in the sense that it's already available, is our new AI Summaries-based product. So if you're engaging with a contact center agent, it's pretty typical that after you've finished talking to an agent, whether that be over voice or whether that be over chat or whatever, that they need to write up kind of what happened, and they need to put that into a CRM platform. And that allows the next interaction that takes place in the contact center to have that sort of informed knowledge. Now that's typically a manual process, and if you've ever used disposition codes inside of a contact center, that they can be pretty inaccurate, and so can the summaries that these agents are required to do. Because if you think about a 10-minute conversation, it might take them 2 or 3 minutes to kind of write that up in a useful summary. So with large language model technology, we basically can take a real-time streaming transcript of that interaction between the agent and the customer in the case of a voice call, and we can automatically summarize that into a very human-readable, easy-to-understand snippet that you can essentially paste directly into the CRM or integrate it directly into your CRM. And we're really excited about the way that this type of solution is going to change contact centers in the coming year. Because it's really kind of valuable to any contact center of any size. And if you look at sort of prior generation technologies, even if you go back like 12 months in this space, doing this sort of post-call summarization using sort of generation 2 technology, like NLP type technology, it would be a pretty involved kind of process, quite expensive. And what that meant was that it was only really available to the biggest enterprises that could justify it across thousands of agents. But with an LLM-based technology, now it's as simple as just dragging a slider or a radio box on the screen saying, "I'd like a summary of this call," and it's automatically generated for you, and it's ready to go. You don't need to train these things on intents anymore. You can basically just use this automatic summarization. So that's kind of one area where we're looking to, or we have launched LLM inside of Five9. And then the second one, which is also pretty exciting, coming out a little bit later in the year, is our new AI Insights product as part of the overall Five9 platform. And essentially what that is you could kind of think about it as sort of the next generation of sort of speech analytics. But again, if you look at sort of speech analytics approaches over the last 5 to 10 years, they've tended to be pretty involved, a lot of professional services and tuning to kind of get them right. When we switch to large language model-based techniques to do sort of reason for call summarization or classification, we can now get incredibly high accuracy with literally no incremental training data beyond the data we already have on that business. So AI Insights, as the name suggests, it's going to basically allow business owners and contact center managers to get a close to real-time view of what is happening inside their contact center in terms of the reasons for these calls, without actually having to go to any significant professional services effort to kind of make that happen. So the value of that is that you'll be able to see trends, how they vary over time. You'll be able to importantly see what opportunities might exist for, let's say, automation within your contact center, which is a big driver for why we're so excited about the AI Insights add-on. And you can expect that from Five9 in the second half of this year. So those would be the two, I guess, biggest examples of how we're leveraging large language model technology inside the Five9 CX platform.
Fantastic. I'd like to pick up on the AI. Obviously, everything's about AI right now. There's no escaping it. You talked about some of the drivers there around, automation being a big one. What are the other sort of big drivers from your customer side point of view that there's a really drive them towards these AI tools that you're providing? Is that agent retention? Is that customer experience? What are the big drivers really behind that?
Yeah, so the philosophy we have at Five9 is really to say you really need a blend of technologies. There are some types of conversations that happen inside your contact center that you absolutely want people to be handling, but then you have a whole range of other interactions that take place. Typically, they're high volume, but relatively low value on an individual interaction basis. So let me give you an example. If you are tracking a parcel, or you're changing an address, or you're refilling a prescription or something like this, these are the types of interactions that still consume a lot of contact center agent time, but absolutely can be automated away using AI based technology. And so one of the challenges is trying to determine what type of customer care workload your people should be working on and what type of customer care workload you should be seeking to automate. So with the aforementioned AI Insights product, the reason we're so excited about that is that it does, for the first time, kind of help answer that question. Now, before technologies like this came along, it was often a very big sort of consulting type engagement to go in and actually look within the contact center and look at where you might be able to optimize and look at call transcripts and really do a lot of manual work. Being able to turn that into sort of an automated dashboard is going to be a really big change, I think, for the industry. Now, why are people doing this? Well, they obviously, in the current economic climate, people are looking to save cost. So there's that aspect to it. But the other aspect to it, particularly coming out of COVID and sort of the Great Resignation, which was particularly hard felt in the contact center industry, is how do you hold on to your agents? And how do you make your new agents that you're recruiting become your best agents as soon as possible? So we see a lot of use of artificial intelligence as it relates to agent assist technologies, as well as post-call optimization technologies such as the AI Summaries that I mentioned. That just allows your agents to get onto the next most important interaction in the contact center rather than chewing up their time on things that could easily be handled by automation today.
Yeah. How big a challenge is data quality? A lot of these AI tools are, the effectiveness is predetermined on how good the data is behind it that they're reading. Is that still an issue you find for customers around that data quality?
So, I mean, the way to think about it, the way I encourage people to think about it is you've got really sort of three parts of an interaction. You've got getting the various channels into the contact center, and the quality of data that you get in, for example, on the voice channel is quite different to the quality of data you get in on an email channel or a chat channel. You can think about voice as an example of being like noisy chat, because what we actually do with that is we convert that voice to text using speech recognition engine technology. Now, that has come a very long way in the last few years to the point that you're getting very high levels of accuracy from modern speech engines. And one of the nice things about the Five9 platform is we are always looking for the best engines to kind of bolt into the overall product offering. The way we kind of think about it and the way we talk about it is we're sort of building an airliner, and the engines that you attach to that airliner to fly it across North America or across Europe, they're going to switch in and out all the time as new engine technology comes out. But you need that overall offering, because the engines help you do the understanding, but then the other important part is how do you actually do fulfillment after you understand what somebody's talking about. So really kind of three parts to the process. Now, in terms of data quality, it used to be that when you were using like generation 2 technology, such as a traditional like NLP engine, and there's a few of those out there that are pretty common. Amazon has one, Google has one, IBM has one, pretty much everyone does. You would actually have to get a lot of data, and you would actually have to train that on a lot of data and then tag that pretty much manually. And that was prone to errors because I'm not sure if you've ever done data tagging, but it's a pretty monotonous job. And when you're doing tens of thousands of interactions, the chances of tagging one wrong is not, is quite high. Now, with LLM-based approaches, that data tagging is largely going away or substantially being reduced. And so the propensity for errors is also being reduced. Now, on the flip side, with LLM technology, you have the notion of hallucination, which is the LLM making, let's say, generating content that is factually not correct. And so you have a different problem, but we have a number of techniques we can use to sort of minimize and essentially remove the hallucination problem. So I think overall, data quality is improving because the need for high volume amounts of data is reducing, and the types of problems that we're seeing where data quality is an issue, we are able to solve with modern techniques.
Fantastic. So, Callum, unfortunately, that is all we have time for. But thank you so much for coming along and sharing a bit of insight.
No problem at all. Thank you, David.
And thank you for watching. You've been watching me, David Dungay, on CX Today. If you liked today's conversation, please give us a like and a share on social media. That's it from me. See you next time.